The Backrooms began as an isolated, unsettling piece of internet folklore. Now, creator Kane Pixels has partnered with A24 to transition that digital legend into a full-length feature film, and the first official trailer has arrived. The footage establishes a distinct 1990s setting. We see boxy sedans in parking lots, flickering fluorescent lights, and the specific, dated aesthetic of an American commercial strip mall. We meet Clark, a furniture store employee. He spends his days navigating the brightly lit showroom floor of the Captain Clark Ottoman Empire, surrounded by the ordinary comforts of the 1990s middle class. The film employs a hybrid cinematic approach. It blends the high-end, polished cinematography typical of an A24 production with the raw, jittery perspective of a 1990s Sony camcorder to create a sense of found footage realism. This reliance on the mundane 90s aesthetic creates a sense of false security. By grounding the story in a recognizable past, the film sets the stage for a jarring descent into total psychological isolation. The trailer features meticulous recreations of the original 4chan creepypasta elements. The yellow wallpaper, the hum of the lights, and even the specific camera angle from the original Oshkosh, Wisconsin photograph are all represented with startling accuracy. The film introduces the Null zone, which functions as a localized tear in reality. This diagram illustrates how a physical object or person can slip through a rift in the normal world and fall directly into the infinite, looping maze hidden beneath. We also get a clear look at a government-style operation. Teams of workers are shown moving through the yellow corridors, completely encased in yellow hazmat suits. These workers are seen physically fighting over a glowing blue canister. This indicates that the government's presence in the backrooms has moved past simple exploration and into a volatile struggle for control over the anomaly's resources. These details indicate a shift in the lore. The backrooms is no longer portrayed as an empty, passive purgatory, but as an active, militarized frontier where human factions are actively clashing. The focus of the trailer eventually moves away from the physical environment to address Clark's deteriorating mental state through his sessions with a psychiatrist. Clark presents a series of hand-drawn maps to his doctor, admitting that he has been returning to the complex night after night to document its layout. Clark's maps reveal a repetitive, infinite geometry. This endless, looping architecture serves as a blueprint for his own psychological unraveling. As the hallways repeat without end, his own behavior becomes increasingly cyclical and detached from the world outside. While Clark's obsession is quiet and analytical, we see a much more visceral reaction from his psychiatrist. Later in the trailer, she is shown covered in blood, sprinting through a suffocatingly narrow corridor in a state of pure panic. The footage suggests that the true danger of the space isn't just the entities lurking in the dark, but a psychological gravity that slowly erodes the victim's will to escape. The film's production design maintains a strict continuity with the visual vocabulary established in Kane Pixels' foundational YouTube series. Specific recurring objects from the digital series appear, including the unsettling cardboard cutouts and the office furniture clipped haphazardly into the walls. The audio design also carries over these signatures. We hear the wiry, distorted screeches that fans of the original series will immediately recognize as the hallmark of the bacteria entity. Integrating these low-fidelity, digital native elements into a high-budget A24 film adds a layer of grit to the horror. It makes the supernatural elements feel like they were captured by accident rather than staged for a camera. By utilizing these specific community-born details, the studio has codified the internet's collaborative mythos into a formal cinematic narrative. The trailer establishes the film as an elevated, slow-burn psychological thriller. This is a story built on atmosphere and dread, rather than the predictable rhythms of a standard horror movie. It sets up 3 core questions for the audience. Why do these null zones exist? What is the government's true objective? And how long can a human mind survive in a space with no exits? Kane Pixels and A24 have created a cinematic experience that honors the grassroots origins of the Backrooms while expanding it into something much more ambitious. And in this space, silence is the loudest thing you'll hear. If you want to see more deep dives into the world of the Backrooms, subscribe and hit the bell icon. We'll be here to break it all down when the movie releases.